Alrighty, so we're halfway through the year, and I thought it'd be a cool idea to do Kells' top 5 classic Sonic Simulator zones. So I decided to make a list of some qualifiers. So we have 12 original qualifiers and 6 OG qualifiers. Now, obviously, the OGs I probably did not make this year, but these are the zones that kind of got my name out here. So we're going to let them qualify. Now, for the first round, we started with the OGs. And what would you know? Twisted Forest and Ring City got eliminated. I don't even know the words. Now, if we're going strictly off level design, I can understand, but Twisted Forest was literally the zone that got my name out. I just didn't understand why they got eliminated the first round. Second round, we continued with the OGs, and Galaxy Resort and Mystic Factory wants to get eliminated. To be honest, when it comes to level design, I can't really back these guys up because this is when I first started Classic Sonic Simulator, and the level design was pretty linear. But if you were to ask me, hey, Kel, what's your favorite OG zone that you have made? It'd probably have to go to Titanic Garden and Eggman Night Base. Both zones are aesthetically nice. I'm not sure about layout. If you guys want to go look back at those zones and see how I did, I always have a Classic Sonic Simulator playlist you can look at. But this is round 2 of OGs. Now, I've made a lot of zones this year, whether you know it or not, so I had to really go through the channel and pick some qualifiers, if you will. So now we're moving on to the 2025 qualifiers, the ones that I feel that is where my peak level design comes in. For the first round, we have Frozen Cavern and Prison Escape eliminated. I'm trying to figure out, do I not like continuous momentum? I personally think Frozen Cavern is a W zone. Prison Escape is right behind it. I like the way that I presented Prison Escape, if that makes sense. You actually feel like you're escaping a prison. Out of all the polls that I posted, I really thought it was going to be Cyber Street and Crystal Reef that's going to get eliminated. No. Y'all wanted these two are gone. I'm blown. But you never know. I might end up making an Act 2 for these zones, you know, evolve on my formula. For round 2 2025 qualifiers, we have Eggman Carnival and Moss Labyrinth eliminated. Understandable, no cap. There's still W zones, aesthetically, you know, level design, all that good stuff. It's just, if I were to be honest with myself, I couldn't really do anything memorable or like, you know, give you something to remember the zone by. Not as good as I'd use Test. And actually, I'm going to take that back because with Eggman Carnival, I was using Test, but I was trying to be different, be too different with my own formula. So that's just consequences. You live and learn, what they say. For round 3, we have Rusty Mountain Zone and Cyber Street Zone. I took a screenshot of it, like, but it changed. Cyber Street was the most, trust me. And to be honest, I don't really have a rebuttal. L Zone, to be honest. Because with Mystic Cave, it's more of a platformer zone, and y'all know me, I like to sometimes pass the camera when you like to go fast, but it's really hard to execute on this layout. Same goes with Cyber Street, except my routes were a little bit more strict. You really have to look for them. That's not usually how the formula works. You don't really have to look for your routes. Correct me if I'm wrong. Fourth round. Ooh, things are getting spicy. Hopefully this was just as hard for you than it was for me, because all of these are really good, but there is an outlier, and they are Crystal Reef and Black Jungle Zone. But if I had to choose, you know, yeah, Crystal Reef and maybe Black Jungle, because Crystal Reef gives me more of the easier side of Kell. You know, it's supposed to be a medium zone, not too easy, not too hard, but no, this is stupid easy. Black Jungle's a solid zone, cool level design, cool aesthetically, I guess. I think I'm just really bold to make a zone called Black Jungle, like, that's insane. Final round, Titanic Train and Steel Mountain Zone. At first I was like, dang, Steel Mountain? I didn't know how y'all was gonna react to that, but then I looked at it, I was like, man, it's probably because Act 1 was kind of plain. Act 2 is where I evolved on it. You know, there's flight paths, there's different routes and all that good stuff, but it's like, I guess aesthetically, it's still not the perfect zone that I have made, you know what I'm saying? Now, if I were to take all your polls and put them together, here's my top 5 zones. I'm gonna give my personal thoughts at the end, but at number 5, Titanic Garden, an OG zone. And number 4, Velocity Harbor Zone, our regular zone. And then at number 3, Steel Mountain Zone. And then at number 2, oh, I forgot, hold on, Lunar Station Zone. It's supposed to be number 1. And then at number 1, you guys said Titanic Train Zone. Now, do I agree with you guys' top 5 list? Partially. Switch Titanic Train and Steel Mountain, you got yourself a deal. You know, I just feel like Steel Mountain, yes, aesthetically it's not the best, but if we're talking like how does a Sonic zone feel, exploration, different routes, different for different characters, it's insane. Steel Mountain is actually the GOAT. But this is a little fun idea I thought I'd do. You know, you guys let me know what my best zone was, and I thought I'd let you know what my best zones is. Pretty much alike. Just, I feel like Steel Mountain's just number 1. Other than that, if you guys enjoyed today's video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, share. It helps out way more than you think it does, for real. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace. You can click the video, you can click subscribe.